Friend, if you don't approve of yourself, no one else's validation will be enough to fill that void. I've had to learn the hard way. In today's video, I'm sharing why I had to stop performing for my inner circle and how choosing peace over popularity is the only way to curate the energy that your future self requires and deserves. Let's talk about it. I grew up wanting to be liked. I don't know where it stemmed from or where it came from, but validation was so important to me, especially with my family and my inner circle of friends. It wasn't until my late 20s, early 30s that I realized that if I don't approve of myself, nothing else matters. No one else's validations or approval or words of encouragement can support me in the way that my approval of myself supports me. So these last years have been really, really tough when it comes to family, when it comes to relationships. I've had to distance myself, I've gone no contact, and had some really tough conversations with people that I absolutely love. Let me say this, just because I don't talk to people doesn't mean I don't love or appreciate them. And I often think that sometimes there's this either or mentality, that people feel like if you're not friends or in relation with them, then you're an enemy. And I do not feel like that at all. But what I have learned from all of my experiences is that my want and need for external validation taints the way I feel about myself internally. In a previous episode, I spoke about having to uninvite family from my wedding, which was such a challenge for me. I'll link that episode for you to check it out. It was a challenge because it hurt. It sucked. It's my family. But my boundaries were very, very clear, and I communicated that, and it was still violated. And I was left between a rock and a hard place. Should I go with the blood is thicker than water mentality? Or do I practice prioritizing my peace because how I feel is more important? And I went with the peace. It was bittersweet to get married and not have all of my people there, even the friends that weren't invited. It felt disrespectful almost. But in sitting with these experiences and all of the things that I've learned about myself, what I know now is that when I look for validation from people who I'm in relation with, I end up self-sacrificing. I end up crying my eyes out. I end up feeling unworthy. I end up feeling less than within myself. And I have done that too many times. So I've learned to put boundaries in place with people from the beginning, especially new friendships and new relationships, because I want to be honest with people that I am not going to choose you over choosing me. I also think that it's important for us as women in our 30s to have these conversations about how tough it is to stay in unaligned friendships. As I got closer to my 30s, I recognized that I had people in my circle who did not like me, who were jealous and envious of who I was. And I didn't recognize it before because I had on rose-colored lenses, but once I took those glasses off, it unleashed a whole new world for me. And I pivoted away from those friendships because I recognized how toxic they were and how if I continued to pursue them, I would be doing myself a disservice. I would be opening the doors for this toxic energy to infiltrate the relationships that really were important for me. In these last few years, I've had to make some tough calls, and I've had to scale back how much I show up for people because one, if it's not reciprocated, it's not gonna happen. And two, it just doesn't feel good to do. It feels exhausting to show up in spaces where you know you're not aligned. So I stopped. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you. It has come with guilt. The guilt of choosing yourself over other people, the guilt of defying people's expectations, the guilt of not having these people in your life that you thought were gonna be there forever. It sucked. It still sucks. But I am happier when I choose myself. I am healthier when I have boundaries in place. And although the hard conversations make me sweat through my clothes, I know that with practice, I get better. I get better at explaining exactly why I'm doing what I'm doing. And even when I'm not explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing, I get better at choosing me. And that is always going to be the goal. I think the worst part about it is that people don't always see things the way that I do. People don't always see that I'm leading with love by choosing myself, and that it's not to their detriment that I am choosing to prioritize my peace. It sucks because I end up being the villain in so many stories, when in actuality, I'm choosing a healthier life for myself. And I would hope that other people want that for me too. But that's not always the case. One of the hardest things I've had to learn to navigate is not explaining why I'm doing what I'm doing to people who are determined to misunderstand me. And I've gotten a lot of practice with my family because they don't always speak their truth. They move with anger and move with fear, and it creates such a messy situation sometimes. And learning to have empathy for people, learning not to judge or criticize people for choosing themselves, choosing how they want to move in their life, that's been really tough. I've had to do the work to just let it go. And no one teaches you that part. And so if you are feeling like the misfit in your situation, if you are navigating really tough friendships in your 30s, maybe you are defying the expectations that your family has for you in this season of your life, I just want to encourage you to keep going. I know it doesn't always feel good. I know it really does suck sometimes when people paint you to be the villain of their story. But at the end of the day, your life is about you. And we don't want to get to the end of this life and say, we shoulda, coulda, woulda. I want to get to the end of my life knowing that I did what was best for me at every single point. And sometimes I make mistakes. Sometimes I don't do things in the most loving way, but I'm human and I own my mistakes and I try to do better the next time. That's all I can do. So you won't always get it right. But if you find yourself seeking the validation of the people who you love and the people who you're in relation with over yourself, what you create is the habit of self-sacrifice. And as someone who has sacrificed their comfort, sacrificed money, time, peace, my love for people, all in the name of being in a relationship with them, it's never worth it. And it may be hard to believe when you're in it that there's a way through. Like, how do you not talk to your family? Or how do you break up this friendship that you've had for decades? I get it. And it's taken me a while to see how to effectively pivot and navigate and be on my own journey. But you find what feels good for you. And if the people that you are around don't feel good for you, don't stay there. You will only upset your spirit. You will only upset yourself. You will only do more damage than good. You'll look back and you will see that you could have given yourself the approval the entire time. And that even when you get validation from other people, it is no match to the impact and the magnitude of loving on, trusting in, and believing in yourself. This whole week, I've been talking about what I'm doing in my 30s to create the life that I know I'll enjoy in my 40s, and not seeking approval for anyone, not my parents, not my siblings, not the rest of my family, or any of my friends, has come at a cost. But the benefit of doing the work now is that in my 40s, hopefully, I won't have to deal with this as much. So in this decade, I am taking the heartache as an invitation to validate myself, to really not just practice self-love, but to actually love on myself and to discern between who feels good for me, who feels aligned with my growth and where I'm going, versus who used to align with me. And who do I need to release with love, knowing that if it's meant to be, they'll show up in my life again. In order to curate the energy that your future self deserves, you've got to put in the tough work now. You've got to do the things that make you cringe now. And in your 30s, really start to look at the relationships that you are currently in, not just the romantic ones, but the platonic ones and the familial ones too. And ask yourself, does this feel good to me? And if it doesn't feel good, ask yourself, why are you still there? Yes, it'll be a sacrifice and it will cost you something, but what you'll gain, you'll only recognize once you take action and do something differently. If you are currently in a transition of relationships and friendships, I'm sending you love and I feel you, because it's not easy, but it's worth it every single time. Have those tough conversations today, friend, because nobody wants to be dealing with this in another decade. At least I don't. I hope that this video spoke to you. I hope that if you're in your 30s and you're navigating tough relationships and you're not sure exactly how to have these conversations, at this point, I'm basically a pro. So if you want some support, I've got my one-on-one glow sessions and I will help you gain clarity and decide on what the language looks like so that you can speak from your heart and not just from a place of anger or guilt. I would love to support you in this way. Definitely check out the link in the description and book a call today. Day 26, friends. All the things that I am navigating, doing in this decade of my life to prepare myself for the future. I'm setting myself up to be in a really great position in my 40s. Stay tuned. We'll see what it turns out to be. I'll see you tomorrow for day 27. I can't believe I made it a quarter of the way through this 100-day series. These videos are all just perspective for you to hopefully shed some light on, give you some clarity, or just offer a different way of looking at things that you currently are experiencing too. If you haven't already, check out the rest of my videos in the playlist. I'll link it in the description of this video, and subscribe to the channel so that you get notified whenever I post more videos. All right, friend, peace.